When the world gets weird and the bills get thick, you call on Clint and you feature Dick. One talks numbers, the other talks slick. Two dads, one mic, yeah, this could stick. Clint's crunching figures straight to the point. Dick's just here to laugh in the joint. It's the Clinterific Show. Featuring Dick. Dick's quick with a joke. Clint's got the math. Together they'll balance your checkbook and your laugh. They'll talk finance, fun, and fatherly fails with liquidity dreams and 401k tales. So grab your coffee, join us a ticket, the Clinterific Show, featuring Dick.
You're going to tell me you're hitting recording right now as I start going.
And welcome back to the Clinterific Show.
It has been a frickin' week.
It has been a week for Mr. Dick over here. So why don't we find out what's happened this week, folks? Come on down, Mr. Dick.
Come on down.
Come on down and tell us.
Oh, hang on a second. I don't have you coming through in the right channel.
Listen,
why is it coming?
You got to make sure that I'm coming through.
There we go. Yeah, I can't have you coming through in the wrong place.
Nope.
That leads to bad mistakes, and those take 18 years to get rid of.
And how?
And how?
Real.
Anyway. So, yeah. This week has been a... I don't want to say I want to do over, because I don't want to do this week over again, but... We'll just, and Clint already knows this because he's going through the same thing, but it's like, it is sports season for our kids, and so it's very busy.
Are you coaching?
I am not. Why would I do that to myself?
Oh my goodness. I do.
I know you're an idiot.
I do have a whole new respect for the parents that volunteer to do this intentionally, because I did not volunteer. There was a...
you got voluntold?
Well, it was more of a... I was telling... so I told Anna that I could not do it during tax season, but if they absolutely could not find anybody, I would be okay being an assistant coach and helping out somebody fill in the gaps during tax season.
See, that's your problem.
And I was stupid enough to fall into that trap. Because they were like, oh, assistant coach means head coach. Yeah, so and even better, I'm the head coach of a sport that I know absolutely nothing about, which is soccer.
I was going to say, fortunately, though, for you, your kids are young enough that no one cares.
That's true, mostly. The kids don't care, but their parents sure do. They really take this stuff to heart. Like there was a woman that was, I believe she was the assistant coach of our opposing team, because we had a game tonight, and she was out for blood. So
did you tell her that it's not the MLS?
Yes,
like,
I
MLS
did
scouts?
Multiple times, and I have the scratches on my back to prove it.
It's interesting because usually you get those from other things, but okay.
Well, I was running away. Because she was 6'7" or 6'8". I don't know. She was very tall.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like...
Fortunately, the most of what I was seeing was on the opposite end of the field that we were on, so that was helpful.
So anyway, yes, it's very busy this time of year, and I decided I was going to be sick on Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah, that was. Yeah. Listen, I wish
I
could have chosen to be sick on those 2 days.
Yeah, well, it didn't help because I missed 2 days of work, and missing 2 days of work...
You're going to be punished when you get back.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
vacation.
I'm too sick to work, and then you get back, and it's like, I wish I was still sick to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Dang it. But, yeah, it's been quite a week. Of course, it's the day I get back.
Is your week so rough because of sports related issues, or is it something else?
Well, I mean, it's just a combination because we're super busy because of sports, and I was feeling sick enough that I ended up having my parents help out with that. so I didn't go to all of it. But
Oh yeah.
so I'm sick and I didn't work for 2 days. And I get back to work, and one of the departments at the company I work at decided they were going to do a major upgrade. And of course, they screwed it up royally. And we've been dealing with the fallout for that for
Way
the
to
last
go.
2 days. Yeah,
Great.
exactly. And
They Tony the Tigered
yeah,
it.
they pretty much did.
Great.
Graped it in the butt. Um,
He Tony the Tiger. What kind of cereal did you eat growing up? he
Tony, why are you putting your
graped it in
finger
the butt. Oh my god. That's the best cereal slogan I've ever heard. They're
10,000
graping you in the butt.
the 10,000 years of pain jutsu.
Oh man. Oh, that's hilarious. They're graping you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh.
So, the icing on the cake on it was like one
Oh.
of the engineers in this other department was like, it's like, hey, I'm telling him like, hey, there's this printing issue, and he's like, well, it has to be a hardware issue. And I'm like, really? It's a hardware issue that right after you did an upgrade on this program, all of these printers in different locations, in different departments, all decided to have the same hardware failure
Yeah.
at the very
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah. Coincidence? I think not.
Coincidence? And he's like, yeah, I know that sounds weird. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
No. It's definitely coincidence. Dude.
it's like, okay, everything else is printing on this printer, but the one report that goes through your application isn't.
Yeah. No. You're hallucinating things.
Like, take a step back, remove your head from your own anus, and then go fuck yourself. Beep.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Sorry, we're working on the whole censorship thing. Oh, that's funny. Well, what else happened with the sports? So you missed because you were sick.
Yeah, I mean that was kind of it's just really busy because like
Oh.
my wife's got a lot of stuff going on, and then there's like, oh, we have to go to sports, and like I'm sick, and it's like, and then like last night was my mom's birthday, so we went out to eat. So
Oh
it's just
yeah.
been a lot of like long days.
Yeah. So you've got to fill me in on this story from the weekend because you told me, was it Friday evening that you had to go to the emergency room,
Oh my God.
and you told me that you were somewhat furious about it. And I don't want to, make you more furious right now, but the context
Yes,
that you were
do.
giving me
Yes,
through our
you do.
texts was that this was a real good story.
So where do I even start?
from the beginning. In the beginning, there was Ricky.
So you see, when a man loves a woman, Clint.
Okay, let's not quite go back that far. maybe just let's go back to like the middle of Friday.
So it actually starts a little further back than that. But what happened on Wednesday night?
Wait, it was
is,
Wednesday?
It was Wednesday. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, so
Man, yeah.
when did I message at you? I'm looking at our messages now.
Yeah, I honestly don't
What was this?
remember cuz I thought it was Friday, but I could be wrong.
Um, so it may have been on Friday that I messaged
Oh,
you
it
about
was
but
it was Thursday. Sorry. Yeah, it was Thursday.
So
April 16
Our
for
kid-
those of you who are wondering about the exact specifics.
day after Hell Day.
Dun-dun-dun.
So our kids go to this weekly kids group thing. It's a church thing, right?
Okay.
And let's just say my wife and I are not satisfied with the amount of structure and supervision. And by that, I mean there is little to none. but like there's activities.
Wait, so
and stuff
it's like
they
just
do.
a kids like Bible study group kind of thing?
Sort of like
Oh.
it's they do activities and they learn, like they have little classes
Oh, I
and
got you. So it's not like one of
obviously
those
people
things where it's like parents have a group and the kids have a group at the same time kind of thing.
No, I mean I think they have some stuff for adults, but frick, man, 2 hours without our kids on a Wednesday night, like we're gonna go do something
And
like.
how?
And how usually think around Hobby Lobby, but whatever, as one does.
You know what? Go big or go to Hobby Lobby.
Pretty much.
If you want to
So
sponsor us, Hobby Lobby, we're we don't really care that much, but our wives sure would be happy.
please email us
Yeah.
at the Clinterific show at proton.me. Anyway, so it was like a month ago our son got hurt. Like they were doing like a transition time or whatever, and he was roughhousing with one of his friends, and
As
his
as
friend,
boys do.
as boys do, and I got no problem with that,
Yeah.
except there was no adult supervision in the room. And when my son fell and hit his head and was knocked unconscious for an untold amount of time because the only people in the room with him were other 9-year-olds, I have a serious problem with
Oh
that.
my goodness. Yeah, that's pushing the boundary a little bit too much. When kids
Right?
are getting knocked unconscious and there's no adult there to make sure that everything's okay, that's too much.
Sure. And that, that's understandable if there's no adult there. I mean, there shouldn't be, but if there's no adult there, yeah, things are going to happen that shouldn't.
Yeah.
But when you've got a bunch of adults around and your daughter is climbing a tree that she shouldn't be, and they don't make her get down and she slips instead, cuts her leg open, and I have to go to the ER so she gets 10 stitches,
Oh no.
you're just incompetent.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean I can understand like from like as as a parent who tries very hard to not corral too much from a protecting the kids perspective, because the reality is they need to be able to get out there and experience the world, but you also
Right.
riding that line between like, okay, you're doing stupid behavior
Sure.
and you're pushing the boundary of safety, which is there. That's a fine line to ride, and it's I can
You
understand it
can
getting out of control, but yeah.
easily do that with your own kids.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, yeah. Err on the side of caution with somebody else's children.
Right, exactly. And
Yeah.
that's my problem. Like, it's one thing if it happens under my watch with my
Yeah.
own kids, and just so anyone who is not aware of my background, I have a background in education. I have worked with kids for a long time, and I was very careful about, what kind of activities and those things. Just understanding that when they were within my care, I had to be more restrictive from what I would be
Yeah.
comfortable as a parent because
Right.
they are not my kids. And
Yeah.
I don't see that happening. And so I got a big problem with that.
Yeah.
Because like it's not a good anyway, so yeah. So we went to the you had to go to the ER. My daughter didn't come home that night till like 11 o'clock.
Yeah. And
Um,
of course that's a school night, so it's even worse because
right.
they're a nightmare the
And
next
then
day. And
Well, and then I had to take time off from work the next day. Took time off from work so she could sleep in.
yeah.
And fortunately, like she's taken it all pretty well. Like, she says they don't bother her at all. She doesn't hardly even notice them. When we change her bandage and put more like ointment on, she's like, "Oh, it tickles," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's weird," but
Yeah.
um, but they don't cause her any pain, thank goodness, or anything like that. But it's
Yeah.
like this is not something that we needed. Like, just do your just
Yeah. Let's think for a minute. Well, I get it. Now I can totally
so
understand why
many
that would be
things in
so
the last
frustrating for you.
so many things in the last week that have pissed me off are just because people aren't doing their jobs.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I definitely get that.
Anyway, how was your week, Clint?
It was actually reasonably okay.
Yeah, how was the tax thing?
Well, we finished tax season, obviously. and
Nice.
it went pretty well this year.
Yeah.
Things have been ramping up for us pretty good, so it's been a huge blessing to have as much success as we have.
Taxes are a huge blessing.
Well, no, that
I
part
know
is
you're
not a
cool.
blessing, but the fact that people are using us or referring us other clients that to use us as well is definitely nice. So yeah,
Okay. Uh-huh.
but
Uh-huh. Okay.
but yeah,
Okay.
we wrapped everything up Wednesday, and then I took a little 2-day hiatus kind of thing on Thursday and Friday. So we just took it easy and hung out, and we we went and did something, but I can't remember for the life of me what we did. So yeah, it's been we did start going back to exercise again,
Oh,
which
nice.
this is the first time that we've been since Anna had her surgery, and
Oh, good.
so it
That's another thing that's pissed me off about this week. I've been to the gym once this week, Clint.
wow, me too.
Yeah, well, that's really abnormal for me,
Yeah,
which is why I'm
yeah.
not happy.
No, I get it. But yeah, no, we went yesterday, and the unfortunate part was that Anna is still not quite recovered completely from her surgery. So
Yeah.
she got
Yeah.
on the elliptical, and that jarring motion,
Yeah.
bouncing up and down with the elliptical, however that motion is, it requires some significant core engagement, and because of all the mesh and stuff like that they had to put inside when they did her surgery, that it jostled around more than she realized that it would, because we've been walking quite a bit, when obviously whenever we have time, even during tax
Yeah.
season and the weather permitting and all that stuff, just go around the block, and she hasn't really had any problems with that. But the elliptical definitely did her in yesterday, so she was pretty sore.
Yikes.
So, but
Baby steps.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's been a good week, and I had a little bit of extra time this week to
Oh yeah.
research the topic that I wanted to go into this week. So this is a very interesting trend that I've seen start developing on
Oh
TikTok
yeah. Oh,
and YouTube recently.
what's a
So
TikTok?
what?
What is it? What's a TikTok?
Well, it's for the younger kids that are under the age of 40.
For the Utes.
Yeah, for the youths. No, it's so this trend is, and honestly, I'm not
I'm
even
not
entirely
dancing.
sure. It's one
I'm
of
not
those
gonna dance,
algorithms.
Clint.
Do what?
I'm not gonna dance.
Oh, you don't
Don't
have
make
to
me dance.
dance. That
Okay,
was
okay.
like the
All right.
first month of TikTok. It's significantly
Oh,
different than that now, but
quit
uh,
tapping the
I
quit
yeah, I
tapping the
accidentally touched the tip again. Um, so so I'm not entirely sure. This is one of those algorithm things that you don't know. Maybe the app is listening to you when you're not, actually using it or what. But
always listening.
I stumbled into this segment of the algorithm of
Uh-oh.
um, interesting and uh, interesting ways to make money that most people don't think about. And
Oh,
so, most of these things are like, yeah, as somebody who's worked in accounting and finance for 15, 16 years now,
uh,
I know about these things. And so it's not really like it's earth-shattering information, but it's something
okay.
like focus on investing only in dividend stocks. So, do you know what a dividend stock is?
Is that the S&P SM is
No. So
the
that
500?
that's called an index fund.
Oh, that's
Now,
right.
I
I
don't
know.
know. I think you can invest in certain kind of funds that only are dividend stock, but basically, so I think I'm fairly positive that Coca-Cola is one of the big ones that's a dividend stock. I know
Okay.
Verizon is another one. So
Oh, I
so
think I understand now.
so like when you buy, a certain number of stocks. So like let's say for the sake of example that you
Yeah.
buy $1,000 of Verizon, then a
Okay.
dividend from Verizon is typically in the, I think it's like 6 to 7% range. So if you have $1,000 in there, then you would get, a $65 dividend at the end of the year. Or
Right.
throughout the year. Some of them pay monthly, some of them pay quarterly. It kind of just depends on what their payment schedule is. And so it's like, oh yeah, if you just make sure that you buy this stock and when you purchase the stock, so like let's say I bought $1,000 of Verizon, I take that stock, so the stock itself has value. So I have $1,000 of value in that stock, and then if I sell it in the future, I get that $1,000 out of it. But it also gives dividends. So, let's say you get a $60 dividend at the end of the year. Instead of taking that money out, you have what's called reinvested dividends. So the money that comes out in dividends buys more stock for Verizon. So you keep buying more Verizon stock yourself by putting, $1,000 in a year, let's say, but then you also reinvest the dividends themselves. And so you're kind of double dipping with the benefit because you're getting the dividend that reinvests and buys more stock, and then you're buying more stock. And so, when you get to, let's say $100,000 in dividends, then you're looking at a $6,000-$7,000 dividend every year. Now, if you get to $1 million, you're getting $60,000 to $70,000 of dividends. So, it's one of those things like it's magnifying on itself because it's reinvesting in itself. It's similar to compounding interest. So, I stumbled into this and I was like, well, that's kind of an interesting way to look at it. And it's not a bad idea. It's not like you're going to become instantaneously filthy rich overnight, but it is a way to become rich.
Well, don't get my hopes up.
So, as I'm watching a couple of these videos, I stumble across a new subcategory of this making money thing, which is
arbitrage, I'm gonna punch
unethical ways of making lots of money quickly. So I'm like, okay, let's find out what this is. And so I've compiled a list. What?
I've got my popcorn.
Oh, yeah. So I compiled a list of some of my favorites, and some of these are actually pretty hilarious that they're classified by some as unethical, because as far as I'm concerned, this is about as ethical as you can be. So,
wait. Wait, what? It's so unethical. It's ethical.
No, it's actually. Listen, when I tell you what it is, you're going to think the same thing I do. But I'm going to save that one for the end. So the first one is called high interest payday lending. Are you familiar with this practice?
Is that like if you need a structured settlement?
No. So no.
I have a structured settlement, but I need cash.
No. Listen. They have one of the best jingles of all time, but no, that's not what this is. So. High interest payday lending is essentially you can target small businesses or individuals that have horrible credit and offer immediate liquidity in exchange for future revenue. So what that means is,
sound like mafia stuff right now.
Yes, it's like, okay, my company, let's say that I've got a lot, I'm just going to say for the sake of this example that I've got $500,000 in the bank and I don't need it for anything. So I'm going to start doing these microloans. That's typically what they call them. So what it is like, okay, there's a guy that I work with and he's terrible with his money. Okay. He is hard up for cash at the end. He gets paid on Friday and he's broke on Monday. Okay. So on Tuesday, I say, hey, Bob, you need some money. I'm going to loan you $500 until payday. Okay? So you have enough money to pay the bills, pay the car payment, whatever it is, until your next payday.
Right. Okay.
But because you have a 200 credit score and you're horrible with your money, and you've talked to me about how horrible you are with money, I'm going to give you a ludicrous interest rate. So this loan is for a week. I'm going to loan you $500 for a week, and you got to pay me back $550 when you get paid.
Yikes.
So he gets his next paycheck, and he has to pay you $550 out of it, which some of them are not quite that quick, but, you get the picture of what I'm talking about. And so he pays you the $550. Well, I made 10% interest in 7 days. Maybe 5 days. It's Tuesday. If you get it back by Friday, it's within 5 days. And so if you extrapolate that out over a year, you're looking at a triple-digit interest rate.
Wow.
Because that's essentially like
Let's assuming they
10%. That's 2% per day. So I mean, realistically, if which I'm using that as an example. I don't think the interest rates are quite that bad. It's probably closer to like, I'm going to give you $500 and you got to give me 510 when you get paid. So it's like 0.5% per day, but still, at the end of the year, that's 180%. That's a real good return on investment.
So in small increments, it doesn't feel like it's that bad. But if you were to extrapolate that over like a normal period of time, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, so if I do one of those every week for that guy, I've made $5,200 off of him alone.
Is this illegal?
Yes.
Oh, dang.
Wait, did you say no, it's not illegal. It is legal.
It's not illegal?
No, it is legal. That's why I say this is unethical, not illegal. This is 100% legal. You could do this right. You could do this right now. Now, you have to understand that this is a high risk, high reward, because Bob has made it very evident that as a credit score of 200, the likelihood of you getting paid back is, pretty low.
Okay, that's fair.
But
that's fair.
That's why he's paying you the ludicrous amounts of interest.
Right.
Because he can't keep money over the weekend. He likes the ladies or the casinos or the a little bit too much. So
dang it, Bob.
Yeah, that's number one is high interest payday lending.
It's a shark loan.
Basically.
Loan shark.
Yeah. Now, you don't have to be to the point where you're going to break somebody's kneecaps if they don't pay you back. You could just write off your losses, but
hey man, you got my money? Reminds me of that the Family Guy.
Oh yes, where Stewie beats the tar. Yeah, it's like wasn't it like $20 or something that he owed?
Yeah, I don't remember. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. Like, where's my money?
Broke his
He dips his face in the toilet. Where's my money, man? Oh man. So that's number one. So I thought that one was like, okay, that's a good way to start off. So number two is called patent trolling. You ever heard of this?
Oh yes, I know what this is. Isn't there a guy that like made a name, like a living off of doing this?
Yes.
Did we talk about him?
I don't have any specific information on him because I was trying to keep this at a high level just to go through the ones that I thought were pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So the way that it works is you acquire a broad, vaguely worded patent from a defunct company for the sole purpose of suing small businesses and app developers for infringement. The strategy essentially relies on hitting the most targets as possible and having them pay a small settlement fee so you don't sue them, rather than face the million in legals that you could claim from them in court because you own the patent. Right. So like, oh no, we'll just settle for $10,000. I'll let you use the patent and blah blah blah.
Win-win. I see a win-win.
Exactly. Yeah. And what's even more insane about this, and we've been watching Big Bang Theory because I haven't watched that through in a while, and it's I don't know if you've ever seen all the way through, but there's an episode where Howard and Leonard and Sheldon come up with some kind of some kind of idea that they want to patent together, and they talk to the patent lawyer at their at the school, the university that they work at. Well, as they're walking through this whole process, I'm like 99% of that can be done by ChatGPT now. So this is one of those careers that I think is going to have a hard time continuing. Like, just have ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever fill out a patent application for you, do all the research, and find out if that patent exists and if there's anything even close. I mean, it may not be perfect, but it's sure a lot cheaper than a patent lawyer. I know that for sure because we actually researched that for a product that my mom came up with whenever she was doing custom interiors, and it was ludicrous how much those things cost just to apply for the things, much less to have a lawyer do it, which I don't, it's one of those things like you don't know if it's because the lawyer fees are so stupid or if it's because the patent application process is so ridiculous, but whatever it was ridiculously expensive. And so I was like, well, if Gemini or ChatGPT can do that, why am I going to pay all this money to a patent lawyer? If they can get me 99% of the way there, who cares about that extra 1%?
Right.
So, but yeah, I just thought that was kind of an interesting. So yeah, patent trolling. Check that out if you're interested in some unethical ways to make money. Because basically you're just shaking down businesses that have legitimate business models for a nominal fee because you patented something that they're doing.
I mean, you own it, right?
Which the thing is you like, obviously you didn't come up with the idea. You're going and patenting an idea that somebody else just didn't have the foresight to patent. Right. So that's the unethical part. You're stealing their idea. It's just legal for you to do so because they didn't patent it. I'm giving Mr. Dick too many ideas here. So, this one is interesting because it's something that's started becoming a lot more of an issue in the last few years. So this one's called targeted arbitrage on scarce goods. Something that jumps to the front of my mind is Pokemon cards.
Arbitrage. Wait, can we back up a second?
Yes.
Can I just say, what a fake-ass made-up word. Arbitrage? What the...
Yeah, I know, right? What are you? I'm an arbitrage-ator.
I'm sorry. Bless you. Did you see? What does that even mean? Like, it doesn't mean anything.
Okay, I'm gonna look up the actual definition because I'm fairly...
Am I even... Arbitrage is how it's spelled.
Yes, it is. The simultaneous purchase and sale of an asset in different markets to profit from a temporary price difference. So, if I'm working in real estate arbitrage, what I'm doing is I'm going to buy a house at $200,000 and sell that house to somebody else without ever actually buying it for $215,000. That's arbitrage.
Wait. You don't actually buy it. You just say you're going to sell it to someone else. I
say I'm selling the contract and rights to buy.
You froze.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I lost you there for a second.
Okay, I am selling the rights to a sale.
But if you don't own it...
That's the contract.
But as I'm saying, like, I'm going to... No, that's stupid. If you don't own it, then you don't have the right to sell the rights to...
Because which that's the thing. That's where this is crossing into unethical behavior. So I'm buying this product... this house at $200,000, I am going to buy it from you. But I have somebody who's going to buy it from me for $215,000. So instead of connecting those two dots and letting them, the second party buy it from the first party, I'm being the middleman and connecting the contract.
It just sounds like you're doing like if we're talking about property in particular, it sounds like you're being a realtor with more paperwork.
Yes.
The hell would you do that for? That's stupid.
There's people that make pretty good money off of it. But, like I said, this is one of those unethical money-making behaviors. So, while you can do it, that doesn't necessarily mean that you should do it. So, the next one is one that I'm sure a lot of people are super familiar with, and that is multi-level marketing. Think of Mr. Bernie Madoff that we were discussing a few weeks ago. So,
no, Jenny, I don't want your high-quality greens.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not even going to give that one the airtime.
Time of day?
Yeah, it's everybody knows what multi-level marketing is. If you're doing multi-level marketing, you're scum. Move on.
Can I do a non sequitur?
Sure.
Sort of. It's related. Nah, I shouldn't. I don't want to dog on it. The marketing team at my company, man, like they're trying to do this like giveaway thing where they want our employees to go out and post about a giveaway we're doing on social media, and I'm like, this feels like multi-level marketing.
Yeah.
In a way, like this is ew. No, I'm not gonna go and blast out. Oh, well, my company's doing this giveaway on LinkedIn and Instagram.
Right.
30 different. No.
Yeah. Yep. No, I get it. So the next one is called domain squatting or typo squatting.
Okay, I'm already tracking this one.
Okay, so this one's actually kind of interesting. So you register a domain that is a common misspelling of major brands or emerging businesses. You then set up a parking page filled with ads or attempt to sell the domain to the rightful brand owner for a massive premium. So, for example, if Verizon is spelled incorrectly 99% of the time as VURIZON, but their actual website is VERIZON, you go and register the domain name for VURIZON, and you sell that to Verizon's actual company. So when somebody accidentally types that in incorrectly, it reroutes them to their website.
You're basically stealing their alias.
Yes.
Or it could be their alias.
Yes.
I mean,
because some websites actually do that. Now, it's not a super common thing anymore because, search engines are such a common thing. So, if somebody doesn't know the exact website, because, like, for example, I wouldn't even be sure that if I type in Verizon into Google, that it's going to take, like, that the website would be Verizon.com. Okay, yeah, it is Verizon.com. And so I'm actually surprised because like it's just as likely that it would be Verizon Wireless or something like that because, they did not have the rights to Verizon.com. And they're not going to pay somebody $200 million for a domain name, which is what these scalpers really are trying to do. So,
right.
So yeah, that's a, it basically is exploiting human error because people are going to type in the names incorrectly on occasion. And you're either going to get, which some people set up like this looks like their website, but it's not. And you fill it with a bunch of ads for crap that you're selling or just ads so you can get ad revenue from it.
Malware.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it doesn't have to be any software or anything that downloads. It's literally just ads that are running on the web page, and you're getting paid based on the traffic. So the more people that come to your page,
it's pretty common though that websites like that, like if you misspell YouTube, YouTube, instead of Y,
Yeah,
you spell it
exactly.
YUO instead of YOU. Like you go to a website like that, and you can get basically these. Have you ever had the pop-up come up on your computer that your computer is infected with this virus? Call this number.
Yes.
Yeah, those are Chromium pop-ups, and they're really common on websites that are just slightly misspelled.
Yeah.
Really common websites,
And
and
they're trying to steal your data and sell it.
yeah, well, they want you to contact them and input credentials or credit card numbers or
Yep.
whatever. Oh, you called Microsoft support from that thing over there. Oh, it's so good you called us, sir.
Yeah.
Your computer is just about to blow up.
Yeah.
Transfer me $5,000 and we'll save it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
So
it's
here's another one, jumping under the next one, because I thought that this went very well with our last discussion where we were talking about scummy behavior by big businesses.
yeah.
So it's called the lovely term planned obsolescence in low-end manufacturing. So designing a consumer electronic or hardware with components that have calculated failure rates shortly after the warranty expires. This forces a continuous replacement cycle. While legal, you are deliberately creating environmental waste and financial strain on the consumer to maintain a constant revenue stream. Which is one of these things that I think these automakers are starting to run into some problems with. And I don't know if I necessarily believe that all of them are doing it intentionally. I understand that the more that technology advances, computers and chips and things like that, they do have a shelf life. They're only going to last a certain length of time. And that's just reality. But the fact that they have started to show a pattern of incredibly consistently having issues right around the time that a warranty or extended warranty shows up or ends, yeah. That's unethical 101.
Yeah, it's I
Yeah. Okay.
don't get me started on
So
this
so
right
you'll
now.
get a kick out of this next one. So
All right.
this is number 9 on my
Okay.
list, which I haven't like I put together 10, and there were some of them that I was like, well, I don't like that one that much. I don't really feel like talking about it. But this is the ninth one that I pulled out. And this is called exploitative freemium game mechanics.
Oh gosh.
You know what I'm talking about. It's called whale hunting.
It's called gotcha mechanics.
Yes. So you develop a mobile game that utilizes psychological dark patterns, such as... yeah. I told you you'd love this one. Such as variable ratio reinforcement schedules.
Okay,
Loot.
whoa. Unpack that for me.
It's a loot box.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
variable ratio. It's like, okay, I get a
it's
loot
scandalous.
box every 2 days or something like that. Or artificially inflated wait times. It's like, oh, well, you got to wait 20 minutes for this, or just give us $1 and that 20-minute goes away.
Yeah.
To target individuals with impulse control issues. The goal is to extract thousands of dollars from a small percentage of players, whales, through addictive loops.
Okay.
100% legal. I have played many, many mobile games on my phone, and they all have some form or variation of a loot box or a pay to pass the time, or this is one of the ones that's my favorite that's been developing in about the last... It's probably been around for about 10 years now, but it's been really, really prevalent because people are not doing the whole, well, I'm not going to pay for it. I'm going to keep the game free. So what they do is they give, well, you don't have to pay us, but you got to watch this ad.
Yeah.
And here's an unskippable 2.5-minute ad that you're going to want to rip your eyeballs out watching because it's of another mobile game that has these stupid mechanics in it. And
what's even more infuriating is, you know what they do is they make these, they do these ads, and they're playable ads.
And they're retarded.
They're retarded, but
Yeah.
they're also nothing like the actual.
Oh yeah, yes. It's typically both. You're seeing something that has nothing to do with the actual gameplay that's part of the game. So if you do fall for the trap and actually download the game doesn't match, and the computer, the person, the whatever that's playing the ad is so dumb.
Oh yeah.
They have no it's like.
Yep.
You're
it's
so dumb.
They're like,
this game is so easy.
No, do that.
Exactly. So yeah. Like, why would you pick +1 when you get plus 1,000? Like, that's just dumb. So yeah.
It is. Well, that's the point. They're like they get that tick in your mind, where you want to complete that loop because you see it happening and it doesn't happen properly, even though it's so easy. But you go to play the game and you never get that opportunity to do that because that was just an ad to get you to download it.
Exactly. Yep.
And I have a theory. I have a theory about that. Is like what they're after isn't so much your money, is your data.
I think that's probably part of it, and like what will pique your interest versus what won't.
Right.
But it's kind of interesting to me because I've played a lot. I mean, I'll be the first to admit I've played a lot of games on my phone. And one of the ones that jumps out at me is the Pokemon trading card game. I don't know if you're
really?
familiar with that app.
I mean, I'm familiar enough to know what it is. I've not played it or anything.
So it's like from a game perspective, I don't think that like gotcha mechanics are necessarily a horrible mechanic to have if done with enough generosity programmed into the game. But I think there's a fine line because the problem is it talks about whale hunting. That's what these companies are doing. They are after the $1,000 plus spender on this game.
Yeah. Right.
And so they want to make it just good enough to get you to pay that next premium. Yep. Whereas as a game, as somebody who enjoys playing games, I think of it more from a perspective of why don't you make these things marginally affordable on a normal individual's salary, earnings range. So instead of saying, okay, I'm going to use the Pokemon game, I think there's a way you can buy like 50 packs, let's say, of 5 cards. So you're getting 250 cards for like $60. So that's the problem is a lot of these packs, these premiums that you're paying for some kind of in-game currency or some kind of, loot box access. And so my thought process is, why in the world are they so focused on making the premium so high when it's like, okay, if they set it up to where I could do a quarter and buy a Pokemon pack, I would do that, a couple times a month. You get the the extra cards and you get more than you normally would. And at the end of the month, if I bought 5 packs, I spent $1.25. I didn't break the bank. The younger kids can be like, oh yeah, Mom, is it okay if I put a quarter on this game? Yeah, I'm not going to lose any sleep over a quarter. Whereas most of them are on these really high end premiums. It's like you can get nothing for $20. Or a little bit more for $40, or if you want the Ultra Mega Deluxe pack, it's $150. Why in the world is that your pricing metric?
Yeah,
You're
it's
focusing
outrageous.
only on whales and excluding all of the rest of the market that I guarantee would be way more interested in paying for this game if it was actually something that was affordable in any
Yeah,
capacity.
it's outrageous. It's
Yep.
outrageous. It's like
I already
who
paid $60 for the stupid game. Why do I need to
who is
pay another $60 for this DLC and another $75 for this skin? So the character, it doesn't even change the game. It just looks different.
yeah.
Let's make
It's
this
like,
stuff reasonably priced, y'all.
who is paying? Who is you know what I mean? Like
There's people
they
doing it.
wouldn't they wouldn't have this business model if there wasn't a market for it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So who are these people out? I mean, there's nobody that I know. I
Yeah.
think you're probably the person I know that spends the most on mobile games.
Yep.
And I know
And
you
I
don't
don't
spend that much.
Yeah, I don't. I really don't anymore. Like, I mean, before I got married, it would probably not be uncommon for me to spend like, I mean, I'm gonna probably overestimate quite a bit, but like let's say $300 in a year on some kind of mobile game. So if you extrapolate that out, at the monthly rate, it's like $20 a month. It's not much more than a Netflix subscription anymore. So
That is true.
it was a lot of money, but it was like I wasn't going broke to do it. But ever since then, like I don't really put any money into mobile games anymore. I mean, like every once in a blue moon, if a game comes out that I'm like, oh yeah, this is a fun game, I'm gonna do like the starter pack that they have or something like that you can pay like $3 and get a extra bonus character or weapon or whatever. Yeah, I'm okay spending $3, but I'm sure not spending $100 on anything like that anymore. It's just the
yikes.
value's just not there. And the problem is, what's even more frustrating about this is so many of these games, you're not getting to keep a game. If I
Right.
back in the 90s and the early 2000s, if I've got a PlayStation 2, I go buy Gran Turismo 3 or Final Fantasy 10 or whatever, Street Fighter game, whatever. I own that game. That is sitting on my shelf, and I can pick it up and I can play it, and there's nothing anybody can do to stop me. But, one of those games that I put most of that money into, it shut down. I literally can't even play it anymore. And so it's like, okay, well, why in the world did I put all that money in a game that it's gone now?
Yeah, completely.
Can't get any of it back, And so it's just one of those things where, and when a game like that shuts down, I legitimately believe that these companies, some of these companies, you want to make a great idea, set these games up to where the servers for the games can be hosted publicly.
Mm-hmm.
And that way, even if there's no continuous updates for the game, at the very minimum, people could keep playing the game. There's a lot of content in some of these games that people would love to keep playing, even if they can't keep buying stuff, just to have access to the stuff that they put all this money into. So, and don't shut them down like Nintendo does. Or Blizzard, Activision, with the classic World of Warcraft. Like, oh yeah, everybody loves classic World of Warcraft. We have a bunch of private servers that are doing that. We can't let them do that. We need to start charging people for it. So, yeah. Anyway, rant over. So the last one that I wanted to get into, and we're gonna have a little bit of a shorter episode this week because I know Mr. Dick here is tired and we got a little bit of a late start.
It's been a week.
But I think I really want to know what your opinion is on this. I think you'll like this one. So this one is there is a whistleblower website for the SEC. So if you suspect or can prove
The Southeast Conference of
No.
NCAA football.
the Securities and Exchange Commission. Yeah. So if you suspect or can prove
Yeah.
beyond a certain level of shadow of doubt, whatever you want to call it,
Okay.
with that a publicly traded company is committing fraud in any capacity, you can submit a report to the SEC. So what happens is the
Oh.
SEC does a formal investigation of the report. Let's say that I'm going to throw out. I'm just going to say Walmart because we were talking about Walmart a few weeks ago, and let's just talk about let's just say that it was Walmart. Okay, so
Right,
I
okay.
I say that Walmart is committing fraud and they're hiding
Hackers.
bonuses for such and such inside of supplies and the person's getting paid and not having taxes taken out of it, and it's not being reported as taxes and
Okay.
all this other stuff. Okay.
Okay.
So let's just say that that's what's happening. Okay. So if I stumble across this in their publicly reported financial statements, because as a publicly traded company, they are required
Okay.
to publish financial statements. So if I say, oh, well, that looks funny, there's something in there. Okay. So they go find out that there is $100 million of over the last 10 years of fraud that was being committed by hiding these bonuses in various expense accounts where they did not belong, should have been reported, all this other stuff. And they get fined, let's say for the sake of a round number, they get fined $1 million. Well,
Okay.
because I was the whistleblower and reporter, I could get between 10 and 30% of all of the fines placed on that publicly traded company. So if they get nailed for $1 million, I get between $100,000 and $300,000. So here's the question for you. I don't view that as unethical in any capacity. That company is committing fraud. They are breaking the law. They are misleading the shareholders. And if I find out about that, why in the world is it unethical for me to report that to the appropriate authorities?
Actually, I think it's ethical to report it.
Exactly. That was my thought process. I was actually talking to Anna about this the other day. I was like, I'm going to start doing this as a hobby. But what's even better is it's completely anonymous.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah,
Dang. So
Yeah.
what do you have to lose?
exactly. Now, I would assume that there's probably some level of credibility that you would lose if you're like, oh, yeah, I think Target's doing it and Best Buy and Walmart and blah, blah, blah. And, you just kind of say it as like I'm going to say everybody's doing it and hope that one of them comes through. You're probably going to lose your reputation and not be able to report it anymore.
Yeah.
So if you're going to, point a smoking gun at somebody, you better make sure that you're pointing it at the right person.
Yeah, you can't be the boy who cried fraud.
Exactly. Yeah, or you'll get
without
sodomized
good
by
reason.
the people you were accusing.
Go on.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought you would get a kick out of that one because I was like, that is
Dude,
a real doozy.
Like, why are we not doing that right now? What are we
Oh,
doing
man.
with this?
Yeah.
Why are
Which-
we on doing a podcast? Let's quit and do that instead.
Yeah, no kidding. Which fun fact, there's also the equivalent for nonprofit and I believe for government agencies that are reporting information incorrectly to be reported to the IRS, which is the same kind of thing, 10 to 30% of the fines received. So, yeah, just
that's interesting
yeah,
because that's public money, though. Like,
well, for a government agency, yes. Not as much for a nonprofit, but to be perfectly honest, a lot of nonprofits are receiving funding from
that's what I was just
the
gonna
government.
say.
So you're not wrong. It really is. So
I feel less good about taking that that payout from exposing government and, let's just be honest, nonprofit fraud, because that's where they, especially after recent events,
Oh man, no kidding. Yeah.
Uncovered that it seems that all the
Yeah.
nonprofits get their money from the federal government anyway.
A lot of them do. It's there is a significant amount of most nonprofits' budget. I would be willing to bet that comes from government grants and things like that. Which the
Why
thing
are
that's
we-
interesting to me. So
Just start a nonprofit, Clint.
yeah. The problem is I have a conscience. Like
You
I
gotta
just
you got to get rid of that.
yeah, I'm like
I
I don't need that garbage anymore. I'm done with the goal conscious thing.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah,
make some money.
I just feel bad for screwing people over. I'm a weirdo.
So that's your problem. You have to.
But the thing, so this is
knock
one of the
that
things that I actually think is kind of funny and interesting at the same time. So I live in the state of Arkansas. So
Or Kansas.
federal grants. Oh, so like let's say that I started a nonprofit organization that was helping the homeless people in Northwest Arkansas. Let's just say that I was doing that. Okay,
Like Gavin Newsom.
right? Yeah. Let's just say that I start up homeless NWA forever. Whatever. And the goal is to help these. Whatever. I don't even think we really have that much of a homeless problem in Northwest Arkansas. I'm just using this as an example. So I start this this nonprofit up. There are a lot of hoops that are required to be jumped through. You have to apply for what's called a 501c3. You get your 501c3, and then which is a government affirmation that what you're doing follows the guidelines of a nonprofit organization. It gives you a list of criteria that you have to follow. You have to have a board. Money is not allowed to be taken out of a 501c3. It can be given out through salaries and wages, but it can't and through reimbursements, but it can't be just, oh, well, we had $50,000 in donations last month and we don't have any more bills, so let's just pass that money out to the people who are on the board. You can't do that. At least legally.
Is that where you get the DN reimbursement?
The what?
The DN reimbursement?
DN?
Yeah, DN.
I don't know.
These nuts.
Oh, wow. Yes, that is exactly where you get that. Yeah. No. So obviously you have to jump through a lot of hoops to get the nonprofit organization. So some of them, depending on what area you're in.
I don't know, man. Some of the nonprofits I heard about in the last year and a half.
Oh man, yeah, yeah. No, it's crazy.
Really? Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So there are some hoops that are ones that you can skip if you can get the right support from a government agency. So, for example, if I call around all, Fayetteville and Rogers and Bentonville and say, hey, I know you're having problems with homeless people. I'm trying to figure out a solution. This is what I'm doing to fix this. This is what I'm doing to fix that. This is the solution we have here. This is all the stuff that we've done, blah, blah, blah. And I get a letter of support from the cities, then that can bypass some of the waiting that you have to do to start getting access to things like these bigger grants. So what you do is, let's say that I got all that. Well, I get all access and I have all the support from the cities, and okay, I am eligible for whatever grants that I want to apply for now. So what happens is I apply for a federal grant. That federal money goes to, let's say that there's a grant that says, this is the Federal Homeless Fund, the FHF. So that grant comes to the state of Arkansas, and the state of Arkansas says, here's your money. So it comes from the state of Arkansas, even though it's federal money. The federal government pays it to the state, and the state sends it to the nonprofit. So that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand, is that the money is not going straight to, which some states may be different, but as far as the state of Arkansas is concerned, a lot of these grants go from the federal government into the state government in some capacity, and then the state government is responsible for governing how that money is passed out, how it's spent, making sure that it's spent on the correct criteria. You know, if you get a grant for paying for, this is only for housing for homeless people, and you're giving it out as bonuses to your employees, you can't do that. So you'll get in trouble for that, and may have to pay the money back, and then you'll be removed from consideration in the future. Or they'll just let you keep the money. I don't know. They're like, yeah, man, you shouldn't do that. But shame.
Okay.
See you later. You can do that if you give me some of it.
We'll see you later.
Yeah. So anyway,
those boys, they'll be boys. Gosh darn.
Yeah. Ain't that the truth? But that's the reality of how, the nonprofits and stuff like that work. And so it's just interesting to me that a lot of people think, oh, yeah, well, the federal government is just giving that money away to these nonprofits. Well, at least in Arkansas, they can't give it straight to the nonprofits. They have to give it to the government, the state government first, and then the government's the one issuing it all out. But that doesn't mean that the state government can't be in cahoots with the nonprofit and getting, kickbacks there as well. So just something to kind of keep in mind. But yeah, anyway, so those are our bullet points for this week of unethical ways to make money. So, if you feel like making a little bit of money and that's in the gray area of what you should feel good about, check it out. Some of them are a little bit more unethical than others, obviously.
Yeah, some of them we don't recommend.
Yeah, I would not recommend most of those, but as far as I'm concerned, if you have evidence to support a publicly traded company that is straight up committing fraud, report them.
Please.
Yeah, just make sure you do it through the right channels so you get paid.
Get your bag.
Yeah. So, as a segue to the Going Deep segment, because we're almost there, but I wanted to talk about this. So Ricky was commenting, Mr. Dick was commenting on my shirt that I have on that says I had potential. So I love this shirt. I have gotten so many comments on this shirt. Compliments across the board. Everybody that sees it starts laughing. So, have you seen or heard anything about this new Ryan Gosling movie, Project Hail Mary?
Yeah, no, I mean, I not really. I understand it's like a space movie, right?
Yes, it is a space movie. So
is he like going to like restart the sun or something?
It's kind of. So
hasn't that been done before? Like, come on, Hollywood.
Listen,
new idea.
Okay, so I went and saw this movie on Sunday with Anna. I went into, like, we were literally just browsing through what movies were out to be, that were at the theater, because I was like, I don't see anything that I really want to see. We had gone to see the Super Mario Galaxy movie with the kids like 2 weeks ago, and it was pretty good. Still. I don't think it was quite as good as the first one, but it was still entertaining. I like Mario Brothers. It's, the kids loved it, so that's kind of what we did. But I saw the trailer for this, and I was like, well, I don't really know anything about it. I like Ryan Gosling. Okay, he's pretty fun. Like, he's probably one of my favorite SNL guests of all time. Like, half of the skits he's in on SNL just crack me up. I don't know if you've ever seen the one that's the funniest to me is the one where he gets and two other people get abducted by aliens, and they're talking about the different experiences. I don't know if you've seen that one. If you haven't, you need to go watch it because it is flat out hilarious. But anyway, I get a kick out of Ryan Gosling. I liked him in La La Land and a handful of other movies that he's been in. He's just he's not bad. Like Blade Runner 2049, I liked him in that pretty good. Anyway, so I see that. I was like, well, it's something to go see. I saw a trailer for it. It might be interesting. I like space movies and sci-fi and stuff like that, which I didn't know anything about it. I just saw the trailer, and I was like, well, the trailer doesn't really give a lot of context about what's going on, other than just it's in space. So we went and saw it, and I don't want to give away too much of the movie, but it was incredible. Like, honestly, I want to go see it. I want to see it again, which I actually just learned this at the theater when we were watching this movie. So MGM actually got bought out by Amazon. So that is actually Amazon's production studio now. And so I did not realize that. So this was an MGM movie.
Because I thought MGM was a Disney property.
I thought that too, but I don't know what. Maybe I was thinking of something else.
I'm looking this up, but go ahead.
Okay. So anyway, it should be available for stream on Amazon in, probably the next month or so. Highly recommend watching it. It's not one of those ones that I think you would have to see in the movie theater or you'd be missing out on anything. Because there are some movies that, you're just getting a better experience in the theater. But that being said... Wow,
you're right. They bought them in 2022.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah.
I knew it was Amazon, but I just learned it's in the theater because it said MGM, whatever, has the lion pop up, and then across the bottom it says an Amazon production, and I was like, wait, what? I didn't know Amazon bought them out. So, so anyway,
in Florida, MGM Studios is one of the Disney parks down there.
See, I don't think they call it that anymore. I think it's called Hollywood Studios.
Oh, is it now?
Yes. I think so.
It used to be, so until 2022, it was sorry, I'm getting distracted now. But it was owned by TBS in 86.
Okay.
This is weird. So original owner Lowe's Inc. 1924 to 1959, and then Turner Broadcasting had it in 86. Credit Lyonnais, like, I don't know, it's French. Credit Lyonnais.
Okay.
1992, 1996, and then MGM Holdings was 2005 to 22. Excuse me. And then Amazon acquired it in 22.
Okay.
Interesting.
So, yeah. So I was, I honestly, when I saw that, I was like, well, Amazon's been kind of hit or miss with some of the stuff they've made in the past few years. Mm-hmm. Like, some of it's been really good, and some of it's like, what in the world's going on here? And so I went into it with no expectations. Honestly, they were probably below average for, what I was expecting. And I was pleasantly surprised. The movie turned out to have a really, really cool story. The way that they tell the story, have you ever seen the movie Castaway with Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
So it's got a similar feel to that. Just from the perspective of it's largely Ryan Gosling by himself for a significant portion of the film because he wakes up in the spaceship and there's an aspect of the coma that they, like the chemical induced coma that they put them in, that causes a level of amnesia. And so as the story's going on, he's remembering different aspects of what's going on, and they're telling the story of why he's on the plane and what they were doing and why they were, or not the plane, the spaceship, why they're on the spaceship, where they're going. And a lot of this stuff can be told from the trailer. Is essentially they've created a spaceship. They're trying to stop this thing from eating the sun, basically. And so, anyway, that's kind of the premise of this whole story, and that's how it's developing. And yeah, it like I was incredibly shocked at how good of a movie it ended up being. And so I went and looked it up on IMDb, and I was shocked, which I want to give you the pretext. I don't know if you've looked it up or anything like that. Don't look it up on IMDb before you watch it, and see if the rating matches what you would expect it to be on there. Because I was actually pretty shocked that it was pretty close. Because typically, in the last probably 10 years, the movies that I think are the best have not gotten very good ratings and reviews and stuff like that. And so, anyway, all of that to be said, this is one of the shirts that he's wearing in the film, in the spaceship. Because, they're in space for like 7 years or something like that.
Huh.
And so obviously they have their own clothes that they get to wear, and this is one of the shirts that he's dressed like a grandma. He has this old muumuu, one of those old sweaters that like hangs down to your feet, and he's got slippers on and these fluffy sweatpants, but his undershirt, I if I'm remembering it correctly, was this shirt. And I saw he turns around like he's writing some calculations on one of the whiteboards, and he turns around and he has this shirt on, and I could not stop laughing because of all the stuff he's doing. And then he's got a shirt that says "I had potential" on it, and I leaned over to Anna. I said, "I have to have that shirt." She orders it for me while we're in the movie. And it showed up like 2 days later, but I just could not stop laughing because I was like, that's one of the best shirts I've ever seen. And it's even funnier because of the context of what all he's doing, because he's literally trying to save the human race.
Right, I had potential.
And it's got this "I had potential" shirt on. Like, oh crap, I'm screwed now because I had potential. Yeah. So anyway, I thought you'd get a kick out of that, but yeah, definitely highly recommend Project Hail Mary. If you can't go see it in theaters, definitely check it out once it goes on Amazon, because I'm sure it will be pretty soon. So yeah, that brings us to our final segment, which is Going Deep. So Mr. Dick, do you have a Going Deep segment for us this week? And you can keep it short. It doesn't have to go too deep.
I'm gonna keep it really short. And
yeah.
Just kind of.
I know you've had a rough week, so I don't want you to feel like you have to reach around too hard in the the repertoire of deep thoughts that you've got jostling around in there.
We can jostle.
Maybe you can just pull out one of the easier quick ones.
We can do a quickie. That's fine. Just a quick tip. I will say, I think, especially after this last week, my deepest thought is, gosh, if you're gonna do a job, like, do it right, and own up to when it fails or when you make a mistake. Like, I can't tell you, how much extra frustration it makes for everybody when you screw up and you can't admit it, and like you can't just take ownership of it.
Yeah.
Like, people are going to have so much more respect for you as a person, especially when you screw up and you say, "Hey, that's on me." And I'll do what it takes to make it right, fix it, whatever.
Yep.
Nothing makes you look like a bigger douchebag than trying to pass off the blame for something that you messed up.
Yeah.
So, like, just in a nutshell, the two things: if you're gonna do a job, do it right the first time, and if you do screw up, frickin' own it.
Yeah.
And just, yeah.
That kind of reminds me of a conversation we had a few weeks ago. We were talking about Parks and Recreation.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you probably still haven't watched that. At least if you have, it's definitely not to that part. So this is one of those Ron Swansonisms that I just love so much about that show. This really is great advice, but it's just hilarious because of the way that he delivers it. So the way, what he said, he was talking to one of the other characters in the show. I think it was Leslie, and the phrase he said was, "Never half-ass two things." always whole ass one thing. And I was like, that's 100%. That's an amazing thought.
Yes.
It really is. And the truth of it is, as a parent and as a business owner and as a friend and a son and a husband and all this, there's always going to be different things that you're going to have to do to keep life just moving forward. That's just reality. And so sometimes it kind of feels just disingenuous to say that, like, I'm going to put my whole heart into this one thing, because you can't do that. But being able to at least stop and take a breath and make sure that if you're going to do something, do everything you can to do it correctly, that's the way to go. You may not be able to give it your whole heart, all of your thought, all of your energy, all of your time, because you've got other commitments. That's just reality. That's part of being human, But at the very least, put all of it when you're doing that thing into that one thing. If you're working, turn this off, Try not to focus on that, or set it on some calming, music or something like that. That way, if anything else happens on that, you're not worried about it. You're just focusing. You're kind of forcing yourself to focus on the task at hand, rather than being like, oh, my phone just went off. What happened? Well, now you just derailed your whole train of thought, and what you were working on is going to take you 10 more minutes to get back into the groove of things.
Yeah, we live in a constant state of distraction with glowing rectangles of narcissism and existential dread.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
it's the truth. So.
There's some, man. I tell you what, I would love to just throw this thing away sometimes.
It's one of the curses of technology, because it's like there's so many things about it that really just are convenient and nice to have, and then there's so many things about it that's just like, I get to the end of the day and I'm like, oh, my battery's dead, and I look at what I spent the battery on, and I'm like, man, what was I doing? Why in the world did I spend an hour and a half on TikTok? Or 2 hours on YouTube, or 15 minutes scrolling through Facebook crap? Because let's be honest, 90% of the stuff on any of those is just garbage. It's not even entertaining anymore.
No,
it's like I have to scroll through 2 hours of crap to find something that's even remotely engaging for my brain, or funny, or what I was looking for. It's like, oh, garbage. Oh, that's interesting. Garbage. And then, 2 hours is gone. I'm like, wait, what just happened? So it's,
and there's so many stupid ads in it now too. It's like,
man,
the minute I see the little sponsored, and then I'm like, oh, nope.
Well, and that's what's even more frustrating. And I get it from a business model perspective. They've got to keep the lights on too. They got to figure out ways to monetize that. Their product is your attention. They are selling your attention, and they figured out how to get it. But the ones that these are the ones that this is just a pet peeve of mine, where it's an advertisement that it looks like it has the little pictures that you can scroll through. And so you swipe on it to see the different pictures in the video, and there's not actually any pictures. It's just designed to, when you swipe, it takes you into Amazon or Temu or whatever other crap that they're trying to push you into. And I'm like, you want to guarantee that I'm not going to buy your shit? You do that kind of crap. Right. Like, I'm going to use Amazon as an example because I know they're one of the ones that do that. If I swipe on something like that and you've somehow duped me into going to your page, I'm sure as hell not buying from Amazon that day. I will buy it from Walmart just because I'm not going to buy it from you for pulling that stupid crap. That's just one of those pet peeves of mine. But then, on the other end of the spectrum, there's some channels that are amazing. So I've stumbled across this one a couple times, and it's hilarious that it's gotten me as many times as it has. Do you have TikTok?
No.
Okay, so I don't know if it's on YouTube. I will do a screen recording of one of these advertisements and send it to you.
Okay.
It's from a restaurant called Papa Giuseppe's. I don't even know where this restaurant is. If I'm ever close to it, I will go to it because of this ingenious marketing strategy.
Okay.
So what they do is the video starts off telling you, like, if you were to ever be eaten by a megalodon, this would happen. But don't worry, that won't happen at Papa Giuseppe's. You know, it's stuff like that where it sets you up, and I'm like, wait, what? the total curveball that happens, and they're incredible. Every time it gets you hooked into this video, and you're like, oh man, I want to know what happens next. And it's like, yep, but that won't happen at Papa Giuseppe's, where we have the best spaghetti on the planet.
This is like one of those like fun facts.
Yes.
Like
fun random facts about, just random garbage. And it's
Giuseppe's.
yeah, I'm just like, dang it. And they've got me at least 6 times now. I'm just like, every time it happens, I'm like, damn it, I've got to go to this restaurant. Like, how do they keep getting me? They're geniuses.
Duped again, Papa Giuseppe.
Yeah.
Duped again.
But yeah, well, that is a good thought to close on for the day. So we'll end it there, and yeah, we've got kind of which I'm at the end of tax season now, so I'm gonna start dumping a little bit more time into coming up with some more interesting topics for the podcast going forward. And I'm still working on getting some interviews for us. I have a couple ideas for people that I want to bring on that are in some very interesting and unique fields of profession that might be kind of cool to have on the show. So I'm going to talk to them and see if I can get them to join us in the next few weeks. So yeah, stick around and feel free to, which we probably should start doing this in the first 5 minutes, so we could get people to actually do it, because I don't know if we have maybe 3 people that even watch this podcast that actually make it to this point. I don't even know if the 3 people that watch our show religiously actually watch it to the end of the show. I don't even remember the last time I've made it to the end of the show. So I'm going to probably start doing it at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
hit that like button.
Yeah. Hit the like button and subscribe and comment something that if you have a topic that you would love us to discuss, or this week, if you have a unethical way of making money that you would like to recommend for others, pop it down in the comment section, and
Like
we will see y'all next week.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we forgot our phrase. Remember,
Go out
today
there.
is a day. So
Go out there and make it a great one.
bye-bye.